don't know, for some reason it just struck me as really close to my heart to see what Tom was doing and taking care of kids that really needed a sort of leg up in life, you know, and some direction. And obviously through the stage of surfing, it's something that's a lifelong passion, and it's healthy, and you get camaraderie and friendship and all that stuff. And as I started to hear the stories of what these guys were doing, I just thought it was really special, and I thought it was cool to be involved with it and help out in some little way. You know, if I can bring some attention to it and help raise some money and support the kids. And Tom and I keep throwing around ideas of things, ways that maybe we could create some projects for the kids, and some of those are fun things, and finding boards and equipment or whatever. But some are work and education and potential, you know, future ways for the kids to enhance their lives. So it's really cool to be on the fringe of this and be able to get amongst it when I'm here and see it firsthand, surf with the kids. But also when I came to Durban last year, we walked through the townships and got to see the streets where some of the kids come from, and it's full on, man. It's like it makes you really sad for what could have been without something like this to help them.
Amazing. I mean, that's cool for me. If there's any, Tom, I don't
Brilliant.
know if you want to...
Can I ask just to tell us a story about continuance and the Mozambique project and how that all came about? I think it's such a radical connection point.
Oh yeah.
With the Pope, and I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
You know?
If you're comfortable with me sharing that story,
Yeah,
that's,
I love it.
You know that story, right? I think I told you.
I'm sure I've heard it, but
Yeah.
there's a few pieces there, so maybe put them together for me.
So, it was right when you broke your foot here at Jeffreys Bay. We were going to do some filming together and with the kids, and Kelly couldn't actually go, so Todd Glazer and Alec.
Come to Durban.
Came to Durban, and very generously Kelly gave us a lot of time in continuance too, which was awesome, and in and of itself was it was such an honor, and the kids were stoked, and it was great. But out of that was super weird, because I got a call out of the blue from somebody in Argentina, and they said, we watched a documentary of Kelly's, and we love the project, and we wonder if there's, we're an organization, and we wonder if there's anything you're starting, any new project we can partner on in the future. And I was like, at first I was like, you're not sure with these things, and I was like, yeah, sounds good, and they may have mentioned something about the Pope, but I just thought maybe it's a religious...
You're like, you're in Argentina, the Pope's in Rome.
I didn't even think of that, and so they said, well, we started talking, and I thought, these guys are pretty cool, maybe we can do something together. And then they said they said, oh yeah, this is great, so we really want to do this, and our board's approved it, and we'd like you to come and brief the Holy Father. And I'm like, wait.
You're like at your local church? What do you
That's right.
Which one?
And
that sounds a little bigger than local, doesn't it?
So I did my research, and I'm like, oh man, this is actually the organization that Pope Francis, the current Pope, started up, and it just so happens that someone who worked in his organization is actually a surfer. And so they saw Kelly's documentary, and so we ended up making a partnership with them, and I did go to Rome to brief the Pope, and he was super cool, and I was like, it's like surfing, and he said, yeah, it's great, So who knew that the Pope was stoked on surfing? He'd seen it somewhere, because he knew what it was and everything, and and to this
That's
day,
so crazy. Sometimes I see where surfing connects. Like, I met the Dalai Lama too.
Oh really?
Yeah, years ago with Terry and
really?
the Patal group, and he didn't really know anything about surfing, but I was just thinking, like, how cool, like there's some extension where these branches all out in the world that extend to those people,
Yeah.
But that story is really cool and special.
It's a beautiful story.
And surprising, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the project that Mhlengi has.
I made this board specifically for this contest, actually. I didn't ride it my first round because I hadn't practiced on it, but it's based on the 2008 board that I won out here on. So that was the last time I won the contest, so it's been a while. So maybe 15 years lucky, we'll see. But yeah, I'd love to do Mozambique. I'd like to do a lot of Africa. There's some more waves up in Morocco and in the Western Sahara I want to go try to get to.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Get him, grab the inside of the leg. Grab around the back of his leg. Other leg. Around the back of the other. Have you in a headlock like this? Right, if I had you here, grab behind me and pick me up. Yeah, anywhere there. Dump me
Minnie's done some incredible things in Mozambique. I mean, there's a whole crew of local kids. Not only a crew that's surfing, but also a crew that's not just dropping out of school and selling bracelets at 13 and then ending up washed up at 18. They're back in school. They've got careers. Minnie and the team, Julia and the others, are looking at ways that they can be meaningfully engaged in the local industries, such as tourism and not just at the bottom level, but look at like properly meaningfully engaged. So it's a really exciting program that's come out of that. And yeah, I mean, we wouldn't had Continuance 2 not been made, we would have never been able to start up their program.
Maybe. Maybe. You never know how those connect. You know, some of those things are just meant to be, and they're going to happen some way or another. But some, might have been that. But I'm happy it was that.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's I was really stoked when Alec and Todd came through and went to Durban, because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little preoccupied with. I was in a little bit of pain for a few months there.
When
I broke that foot, yes, burn that thing. You should have brought. You should have brought it. I was telling somebody the other night. I said, I should have taken that board, lit it on fire, and sent it out to sea as a goodbye to that moment. But yeah, that was. I hope somebody's getting some good waves on it at least.
Yeah, they are.
Hopefully it works for somebody.
Probably the best board ever.
I don't blame the board, It was just one of those things. Shit happens when you surf sometimes, so. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your support, mate.
Appreciate man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been good. I'm stoked to see, because I'll just tell you, because what you're doing is it is just genuinely such a good project that everyone I share it with and tell some of the history of, everyone's like, I'm in. I want to help, So it's not a hard sell. It's just like you're doing the right thing, and it's cool, man. It's like you should feel really good, like changing people's lives, and you're gonna get another 30 years, and you're gonna see the success of kids who've come through the project, even more and more generations of it, and projects they're creating, and educations they've had, and the connections that spread across the globe through that, and you're gonna know your life was spent well.
I appreciate the words, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
That's kind. Thanks.
So Kelly, CEO role? Surfing CEO?
No, man. I have no interest in that.
It's just what the world wants.
People keep saying that.
Yeah.
I'll write my ideas down and they can have them, but I don't want a job.
Please just commentate more. Like you're commentating great.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. These are the ones I was telling you about, because the kids are all over this one, and Minnie and the crew are in this one as well.
How long have you been with the mag?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. 10 years in October.
It's so funny. So I'm doing this. See, my teeth are they're sort of straightish.
Yeah.
When I first got on tour in '92, Zigzag put a picture of me of my teeth, and they were really jacked up. Like my bottom teeth, this tooth was hidden behind this tooth, and you couldn't see it. And they did this sort of almost like a gossip thing, about my teeth. And it really bummed me out, man. I was like, fuck, it's just it's just my teeth. And so I just was thinking about recently, I was just laughing. I'm like, in a couple months my teeth are gonna be totally straight and perfect. And I'm gonna put a post up. I'm gonna find that post and put it. I'm gonna repost it and be like, I did it, man. I got there. But yeah, that was in Zigzag. But that was a weird year for me, '92, I was on Baywatch, I became world champ, all kinds of crazy stuff happened in my life. Wow. I got engaged, all this stuff happened, and it was like a whirlwind. And South Africa, Well, yeah, they just put the boot in, you know. But it was, I all of a sudden found myself like in gossip magazines and stuff, and I felt like some of the write-ups in surfing were sort of that about me as opposed to just my surfing, and it really bummed me out. But it was such a whirlwind year for me. That first year or two on tour, it was like, and I remember Durban was a big part of that. Like I made a lot of friends there, and I had a lot of history in Durban, in South Africa. Even though I didn't spend like a ton of time, it was just this one time, a couple weeks per year. But it felt like that was like a lot of the epicenter of those years for me for some reason.
That was kind of the height of the Gunston.
Yeah. It was, man, the Gunston was great back then. I loved it being at New Pier and right there in the center of town. It was such a scene there, like good scene, positive, you know. There was this one Indian guy who would come down to the beach, and I don't think he probably ever surfed a day in his life, but he would stand in the same place all day long, and just like, he would just do this. He would just stand there. I swear he'd stand there for 10 hours a day watching the surf, and there was something funny he did with his finger. And every year, years and years, he would just be there every single day standing in the same place. I don't know, and I don't think he was a surfer in any way whatsoever. He was just like a guy who would fan out on the beach and stand in the same spot every year, all day at the contest. It's really weird. And Joe Cools was happening back then.
It's still happening.
Is it?
Oh yeah. It's different.
Joe Cools. Yeah, that's
Top
an
moment
institution.
for you, Joe Cools.
Top moment of Joe Cools? Probably a couple of pool games I won some money in, you know. No, I had a funny situation with Sonny Garcia there, where I slapped Sonny one night, and we were like brothers, so I could kind of pull that off. I thought he was going to kill me, but it was over something personal that happened, and it was more like a brotherly slap than I wasn't trying to fight him, but I gave him a good slap in the face, and I was like, and then I went, oh no, he's gonna like knock me out, you know, and he just like, he thought for a second. And he looked at me and he goes, do it again. And I was like, I was just about to slap him again, and this huge bouncer grabbed me like this. And this guy was known because he had thrown somebody down the stairs there and killed him, right? And he was heading for the door with me in his arms to throw me down the stairs. And Sonny's like, no, I told him to do it. And Sonny saved me, man. But it was like it was a really funny moment, like a real brotherly moment between me and Sonny there. Yeah, crazy. We were both a little drunk.
Makes you feel better. It's standard behavior at Joe Cools.
Yeah.
There's always a bigger bouncer.
Dude, this guy was like 320, 6'8".
God.
He's like the biggest guy I ever seen, man. And he looked like Shaq, this guy. He's like the white Shaq. And this guy he was like a Dutchman, big Dutchman. And I swear he was going to toss me all the way to the bottom of those like 30 steps, like one hand. I was like picturing him like, I'm going straight to the hospital right now.
That's classic.
Amazing, guys.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again for hanging with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
That Mozambique one features a lot of the project up there.
Yeah, nice. I got to get up there, man. I want to go up there and fish, get some good seafood. Yeah. Get the crays and the shrimp and fish.
That's there.
Plenty of that.
Uh-huh.
Many will dial you in there.
Fishing, yeah.
Oh, you know the right people.
I know the spots, just don't know how to fish. I know the spots. There's quite a lot of reefs there, so.
Just get me to a boat.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Get me to a fisherman.
That's easy.
Sort me out.